Hi YouTube, this is Jacky. I got second at my local OTS Championship this past weekend, playing what could be described as Snake Eye, Fiendsmith, Kashtira with a side of Salamangreat. As to why I chose to play this deck, I was able to get all the Snake Eye card stuff that was expensive before, like Bonfires, Wanted, Diabell Star. Since all that stuff got reprinted in the Core Century Bonanza, I was able to get all that and be able to play a version of Snake Eye Salamangreat that I really liked. And then I did really well with that, and I figured, hey, let's just throw in a bunch of other good cards. Fiendsmith cards are good, Kashtira cards are good, so why not just throw them all together, see what happens. So let's get right into the deck profile. For one of the reasons why I really wanted to play this deck was that this deck essentially has 12 rotas. You have 6 for the salad cards, and then you have 3 for your Snake Eye engine. Thankfully, I did. The only times I got drolled during the championship, I didn't lose. I didn't end up losing anyway. I did run into Nibiru and Mulcharmy a few times, which was here and there. But one of the main reasons I want to play this because just you can be able to start with one piece. If they get interrupted, you pivot into the other. They interrupt that, you pivot into your another piece, and just keep extending and starting different combo lines, like to sort of branch off and sort of build your own path as to what kind of end board you want to make. For non-engine, I wasn't too happy with it. Playing the 3 Fool Loss, playing 3 Ash Blossom, playing 3 Imperm, 1 Statue, 1 Talents, and 1 Called By. They were okay. I would probably just cut the Fuwas, or at least put them in the side deck, because, in a 60 card deck, I don't know what kind of results you're expecting from them. Every time I saw Fool Loss, it just ended up being discard fodder for either Deception or Mining or Diabell Star, so really you could take it or leave it. Ash and Imperm did come up when I see them. The Azaroon was obviously here because I'm playing the Silhouette Rabbit, but if I was to play this deck in the future, I would probably cut it. I did have one game where I just hard opened the statue, so and it was against the Kashtira opponent as well, so that was pretty good. I didn't open shifter that game at least, so yeah, I would probably just consider just playing board breakers or thrusts to sort of balance out the fact that this is a 60 card deck, so can't really expect one Ash Blossom to carry you through. For the Salad engine, we got 3 Salamangreat of Fire, 3 Salamangreat Gazelle, 1 Foxy, 1 Jaguar, 1 Weasel, 1 Mole, 1 Sanctuary, 1 Will of the Salamangreat, and 1 Salamangreat Roar. So these two were basically the main reason why I wanted to, why I tried at least the Snake Eye Diabell Star, or Snake Eye Salad deck, was because Mole being a level 1 fire, obviously you can access it through the Snake Eye line. And once you have access to Mole, that gives you access to Sanctuary. Once you have Sanctuary, that means you can relink your Raging Phoenix that you go into another copy of itself to get access to Roar, which is just an Omni Negate. The Salad cards are just also just independently, they could do the combo themselves. So I did have a couple games where I didn't open any of the other engines, so I was just playing a watered down version of Salad, which in the end was still enough considering it was the Omni Negate, Princess, 1 or 2 hand traps, so it ended up being fine. You may notice that there is a particular Salamangreat card that is missing here, and that is a Salamangreat Spinny. This was the card that I messed up on my deck list. There should be 1 of this instead of 3 fire, but because I wrote my deck list incorrectly, I corrected the mistake, and I had a game 1 loss against Kashtira. Thankfully that didn't matter, but yeah, 60 cards is hard to keep track of. So I had to play the rest of the tournament without the Spinny. Yeah. For the Snake Eye engine, we got 3 Diabell Star, Ash, Poplar, Oak, Flambridge, all standard stuff. Deep All-Star, Temple, Original Sinful, 2 Deception, and 1 Hollowed Azamina. Nothing too out of the ordinary here. I think obviously in pure versions you play 2 Oak and maybe 3 Deception, but I only have 2 Deception, I only had 1 Oak, but I probably wouldn't be playing more than 1 Oak in this kind of abomination of the deck, even if I had one. The Fiendsmith cards. We got 2 Engraver, 1 Lacrima, 1 Lurie, and 1 Tract. There were a lot of games where I just opened up a Lacrima as my normal summon, which, I mean, like, I would try to do the Snake Eye line stuff first, and if that got in trouble, then I just normal summon Lacrima and go from there. If I were to play this in the future, I'd probably just cut the Lurie, because it doesn't really come up, but because I don't think I really even opened Engraver too often, but I figured I'd just put it in again. Just wanted to play with some cards I didn't have access to before. And then the cash cards, we got 2 Fenrir, 1 Unicorn, 1 Birth, and 1 Raitsoth. One of the things, again, was just like in the event where I get drolled, or, you know, if I come across a Shifter or a Mulcharmy, then at least seeing these is a sort of good middle ground. I don't have to combo too much to end on decent disruption, and obviously Unicorn being some sort of insulation against like Droll and Lockbird, or if they try to hand trap me later throughout the combo. One cool interaction that I did was I opened a Fenrir and Deception, and I was able to just summon Fenrir, search a Unicorn, Deception, tribute the Fenrir. Now that the board's empty, I summon Unicorn, grab Birth, and then Birth just brings back a Fenrir, and you just get a bunch of free bodies here like that. There's just a bunch of cool like little synergies like that really made me, again, I just wanted to play a bunch of good cards that see how they work together, because that's something I didn't consider until I had it in my hand. The extra deck is incredibly tight. I don't like it. It ended up looking more like a Snake Eye Fiendsmith than Salamangreat, but again, that's part of the salad tax. You gotta run multiple copies of your extra deck monsters, and sometimes, at least in this version, I kind of didn't decide to do that. So we got, for Azaminas, we got Mississauga and Sylvia, standard. Got SP, IP, and Rabbit. As I mentioned with the Azarun, if I was to play this going forward, I'd probably cut the Rabbit. I'll probably cut it for another salad name, which I'll show later. I got the Fiendsmith line. Nothing too amazing here. There was a case to consider not playing Sequence in Desiree and just playing NAWCQ and High Wave King. But I just felt, again, I hadn't played with the Fiendsmith cards before, so I just wanted to play Sequence in Desiree instead, just to see how they felt. I probably wouldn't be playing both, like Sequence, Desiree, and the NAWCQ and High Wave King if I were to play this in the future. I don't know which one I would consider going forward. Might have to try them out. For the Salad Extra deck, it is super tight, because we only got 1 Banelings and 1 Wolf. I would have loved to be able to play 2 of these, but this kind of abomination didn't let me. We got the 2 Raging Phoenix, again, for the combo with the Snake Eyes. That gets you into the Mole, to get you in the Sanctuary to get your counter trap. And we got Princess and Hida as the last 2 cards. For the extra deck, or not extra deck, sorry, for the side deck, 1 Fucho, never came up, didn't play against Senpai, but felt I needed it just in case. Got 3 Perulia, 2 Droll, and 2 Nib. These 4 were more so just like in case I played against Rogue, because like obviously like Nib isn't very good against a lot of the matchups. They can put up a negate or just play through it anyway, like with the case of Ubel, or like again a negate with like Fire King or the Azamina cards. So it was more so just in case I played up against like some rogue deck, like maybe Mermill or something like that, and I just needed like more hand traps, considering the main deck doesn't really have that many. Never saw these, so it didn't really matter too much. And I saw Perulia like maybe once or twice, so again, like didn't put too much thought into it, but probably would work on the ratios and card choice here for a bit. We got 3 Thrust. Thrust was probably one of the MVPs of this side deck because I also played 2 Evenly. I had a lot of games where I would thrust into Evenly. I had a game against the Kashtira where I had to thrust into Imperm just because he shifted me, but he ended up breaking on a bunch of hand traps anyway. So the thrust into Imperm actually won me the game for that, so that was pretty nice. But yeah, Evenly was also amazing. I would probably run 3 of it just to be able to see it more, especially in a 60 card deck. It's a really good card. It worked out for me that day. D-Barrier, just as thrust in case of like Tempai or any other matchup that would need it. And Anti-Spell, just as one of that I felt I wanted to have just to go first. Like that's generically good. Only ever saw it once, but it won me that game, so take that for whatever it's worth. But yeah, that's been this crazy deck profile. Thank you for hooking to my data for letting me share this deck profile, and hope you guys have a good day.